Hola, how are you doing today? It is a Saturday. I hope you guys are out there enjoying what little sun you have. If you have a little bit of sun, if you have a lot of sun, let me know in the comments. Okay. It's been freezing cold for the past couple of weeks. So, I did manage to get some things done today, but I saw the story and I know I said I was going to cut back on a lot of my news stories over here, and I have. But this particular one deserves to be over here and not on Tommy Bites 2.0 because not a lot of people will see it over there yet. And hopefully y'all will hit that like button because that definitely pushes this video out in front of more people so they will know what exactly is happening. It is so important that you hit that like button. It's so important that you leave comments. Those things help support the channel, and it's a free way to support the channel indeed. So this is a unexpected live. Definitely, it was not planning to go live. Actually having to get something done. So this is going to just be one story that I'm going to do, and I'm going to get right to it right now. Thank you for coming in. I see you entering. As you enter, please hit that like button. Hey, Monica, how are you doing? Hope you are doing well today on this Saturday, February 22nd. So let me share my screen. Y'all, please share this video out with your family and your friends. Definitely hit that like button. Again, that helps the channel get out to more people. YouTube is not pushing my videos at all, and I need your help to force their hand to push these type of videos, including my gardening videos, out to people as well. So let's see what's going on here. It says the Internal Revenue Service has begun firing thousands of employees as part of another round of layoffs targeting federal workers. The Washington Post reported earlier this week the mass firings come during a busy tax filing season, with taxpayers expected to file more than 140 million tax returns by the April 15th deadline. Of the 7,000 IRS employees expected to be laid off, 5,000 come from the tax agency enforcement and collections section, which in recent years has worked to increase audits of the country's wealthiest taxpayers and more strictly enforce rules governing certain businesses. The layoffs are part of the Trump administration's goal to dramatically shrink the federal workforce, a move that has targeted health workers, immigration judges, aviation safety assistants, and thousands of other government employees. The latest ones, I believe, was the Pentagon. The firings have imperiled services across the country, from disease prevention to forestry services. So a lot of people were let go in California when it comes to forestry. A lot of people were let go at the CDC as well. Experts say the planned layoffs at the IRS could jeopardize tax collection and taxpayer services. So let's see what we need to know. For years, the IRS has been starved of funding, leaving the tax agency understaffed and ill-equipped to assist taxpayers with filing tax returns, process returns, and crack down on tax avoidance. In 2022, congressional Democrats narrowly passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which allocated $80 billion to the IRS over 10 years, making and marking the biggest boost to the tax agency's budget in history. The Biden-era budget increase was part of the administration's push to modernize the agency technology and hire more IRS agents to increase tax enforcement and collections. Last year, the agency grew by about 10%, from about 90,000 employees to 100,000 employees, according to the Post. That's about 7% of the agency that will be laid off. How will the layoffs affect your tax returns? It says the IRS has said publicly that personnel critical to the tax filing season are ineligible for the deferred resignation plan that encourage federal workers to quit, indicating that the layoffs may not affect employees who process tax returns or assist taxpayers with filing tax returns. So they can't say for sure if it's going to affect it or not, but it shouldn't, is what I'm hearing. In a statement Thursday, former IRS Commissioner Charles Redditch said There should not be a significant impact on current filing season operations because the firings were confined to probationary employees who work in small business self-employed division of the IRS, not those who work in the wage and investment division, which handles taxpayer services. Let's see. What if my refund is delayed? That's the question. Here's the answer. So, a law professor at Northwestern University said in an interview that there are statutory protections for taxpayers who receive delayed refund payments. The IRS has 45 days from the tax return date to issue a refund. If they don't, then the taxpayer may actually be entitled to interest on late refund payments. I have never heard of that because when I was younger, my tax returns were late. Well, refund was late. I didn't get any interest on it. I gotta sneeze so bad. How will enforcement and collections be affected? Reddish, who served the IRS commissioner from 2018 to 2022, said the layoffs will have a significant impact on the agency's ability to expand the volume of audits. However, he noted that the IRS has modernized its enforcement and collection system, which has made it easier for the agency to identify potential noncompliance and conduct meaningful issue-focused examinations. The IRS can now identify issues of noncompliance that would not have been remotely possible just a few years ago. Who's affected? In January of 2023, Stanford University Institute for Economic Policy research found that Black people who claim the Earned Income Tax Credit, a tax break for low and moderate income workers, were audited at far higher rates than their non-Black counterparts. In a letter to the Senate Finance Committee at the time, IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel said the agency was deeply concerned by the university's findings and would work to address the disparities. Not with DAI being rolled back, not. Nope, no protections. They have done better. What they've done is make sure that only low-income taxpayers were not the one being audited, according to a professor at Georgetown Law School who studies the effects of tax policies by race, class, and gender. But she also said this week that the layoffs at the IRS could roll back that progress. Exactly what I just said. You need people to audit higher income taxpayers, more sophisticated tax returns. So if those people are being fired, then we would expect to go back to the old ways where Black taxpayers are 3 to 5 times more likely to be audited or even worse, she said. So what this means is an enforcement system that's going to be be tilted against Black taxpayers. What is new? What is new in the world? Everything is tilted against us. It just is. So that's what's going on, you guys. They're saying that the possibility is there that it could affect it, but it should not affect it. So only time will tell when you send your tax returns off. Remember that they have 45 days is what this article is saying to send you back your money. And if they don't send you back your money, then they should be paying you interest on it when you do receive it. So let me see what you guys are saying. Definitely leave your comments down below what you think about it. Is it surprising to you that Black folk are audited more than others? It's not surprising to me. The fact that not just Black folk, but Black folk, but low income people earning under 50,000 definitely are going to be audited before these wealthier people are. And theirs are more complex. They have more ways to hide stuff. So, hey, Monica, welcome in. Hey, Happy Mac, how are you? Hello, Yolanda and Amber. Teresa's in here. Hey, cousin. Hey, Tisha. How are you, Carolyn, Jesse, Josiah? Very bad news to report. The traffic administration is cutting the Section 8 program as well as food stamps. Josiah, The saga continues. Let me tell you, the saga continues. Let me stop sharing that for a second. I heard that there were going to be cuts to the food stamps, but I haven't seen it. What I have seen is they're not going to allow people who use food stamps to purchase snacks, sodas, stuff like that. I honestly feel like they think a lot of Black folk are on food stamps. So I see that, yeah, they did say one day ago, SNAP benefits face cuts as RFK Jr. goes after junk food. And then I see a different story that says House Republican representing large shares of Medicaid, SNAP, face tough budget tests. Let's see. I don't want to read the whole article. I'm just trying to skim it and see where it says. So basically, a lot of Republicans are worried that if they cut this, cut Medicaid food stamps, it's going to affect a lot of their constituents that voted for them to get into office. So they're really nervous about the Trump administration going through with it, because it's going to affect them down the road, because it's all about that vote. So they're saying they're undecided on how they're going to vote on it. So let's see. What did the other one say about the SNAP benefits? Let's share this one. Let's see there. I was only going to do one story. Josiah. Josiah. I was only going to do one story. I'm trying to get away with that. SNAP benefits. Hey, Lydia. How are you, Tim? Vanessa, Michelle, Judy. Good afternoon to you as well. Yeah, Tim, he ain't playing. People thought everything he said was a joke. He the one with the last laugh, I guess. Hey, Tisha. Chosen one. Jerome. Got my return 35 days after filing. That is good. I know my son just, I think he just did his, because he called me about, did my stuff come in the mail? I'm like, yeah, it came in the mail. I'll get mine done before April 15th. People who were here where I'm at in North Carolina, who was dealing with Hurricane Helene, we actually got an extension on ours. Well, not just in North Carolina, but if you had the effects of Hurricane Helene, as far as I know, North Carolina, maybe other states as well who were affected by Hurricane Helene. But anyway, they said that we didn't have to file our taxes. We had until 2026. We have to file them, but we have until 2026 to do so. But I'm filing mine. Just saying, if they are going to cut all these programs, then they need to increase wages and lower the cost of college tuition. It ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. They need to, but I don't see that happening. Hey, Tim, again. Hey, Eileen. Yep, no surprise at all, Eileen. Hey, Angela. Of course, that's what they think. Yeah. Chosen one. Teresa said stamps was cut $60. I mean, I showed y'all in that other video, like that was just one person complaining about her food stamps and Medicaid and uh the program that pays for your utilities, which I used that program one time too when I was like early 20s, and I was on assistance and stuff like that, going to school um to try to better myself so I wouldn't have to depend so much on that, But mm-mm, a lot of people are complaining about it. But some people are getting over on the system with it. It's not everybody though. That's the thing. But they see one person, they think it's everybody. It's not everybody. Lydia says Pepsi and Coke, CO not going for that. Snap makes a lot of their money. They endorse Trump. Yeah. I don't know if Pepsi did. I know that there was like the Latin community, they were like really, really going hard on, was it Coke? Because they say they use Coke for everything. They grew up, their grandmamas gave them Coke for a stomach ache, for whatever, So they started boycotting Coke and drinking Pepsi and stuff like that. And half of them didn't want to do it, but I don't know if Pepsi did or not. Stocking your pantry, recession is upon it. It really is, Amber. It is. It's all going to come down the pipe. 25%. African Americans, 36.5%. Oh, where did that comment go? Yeah. Yeah, Eileen. Hey, East Dad. Must have used that program recently. I appreciate that, but no. But no. Mm-mm. Even as a young mom, I knew that I did not want to stay on that forever. It's hard to get, it is hard to get off of that, but you have to really, really want more. And hopefully have people around you that can support you where you can work and go to school, because the high school diploma is not for women. I don't know about for men, but because men tend to get a job like this, paying more. Women don't, no matter the color, women do not. And we usually have, that's why so many women have more degrees than men, because we know that we have to get that extra um, piece of education so that we can at least earn a little bit more. But with the cost of food, now that you're earning more, it's like your money's not going anywhere. It's like, dang, you think, oh man, I'm making this money now. My money's looking better now. And you can't afford nothing. I went in the store and got like 7 things and paid $52. It's like, are you serious right now? And then you can think about it. And I don't have young kids. All my kids are grown. Okay. The youngest is 18, will be 19 in April. But listening to my daughter, because she don't even qualify for food stamps. She's working full-time. Her husband's working full-time. And they do not qualify, but yet they are still struggling because, it's 4 kids you got to feed. So she don't get WIC, so she's breastfeeding. Thankfully, that's working out for her, because now that she's supplementing a little bit with the baby being in childcare, because I'm in North Carolina. I wish I was there. I could watch him. But paying childcare, that's like a college tuition. And then you add in formula for the daycare, and you're breastfeeding when you're home and whatnot. So that's a lot of money. I could not imagine having a child right now and having to feed that child with no help at all. Not saying that nobody owes you anything. Don't get me wrong. The government don't owe you crap. Well, they do kind of, but anyway, because we pay into it. So, but to let them say it, they don't owe you nothing. And they ain't gonna give you nothing. Most people get over. And then the ones who really, really, truly need it, who are working, who need child care assistance, she can't even get child care assistance. I owned a child care center. Okay. So she didn't have to have child care assistance with her other two kids because I had a child care. It was no issue, you know. But she could get assistance from it. But now she can't get any assistance, you know, where they pay a little bit and then you pay the rest or whatever. No Section 8. She paying rent. You know, all that stuff is very difficult to live nowadays. And I think they don't understand that. And then they go out and they make these cuts. And then people who are already struggling and trying to make ends meet with that little bit of money just lost their job out of, you know, political reasons or whatever the reason may be. They don't have a job. It don't matter to them what the reason is. So when people argue about, well, he didn't do that because of that, and he did that because of that, nobody gives a crap. Okay. People who lost their jobs, they don't really care. They may say something, but what they really care about is that I don't have a job. I got to find a job. I don't have time to sit around and cry like a baby because I don't have a job. I got to cry while I'm driving to that interview. I got to cry while I'm driving to find a job. I don't have time to sit, think about it, process it. A lot of people are living their life every day with PTSD, especially people who have lost their jobs, may have just got a car or may have just got a home. Now worried they're going to lose the house they're in. What are they going to do? How are they going to feed their kids? How are they going to feed themselves even if they don't have kids? You know what I'm saying? So everybody is going through a lot. And the wealthy, just to see them smiling and laughing while they're doing this, well, we're going to cut this and we're going to cut that. Yes, there are a lot of things that do need to be figured out in the government that do need to be fixed. But can we figure out how to fix it before we just cut people loose? Because not everybody who works in government is making six figures. Middle class is struggling. Okay. And the wealthy are getting wealthier. There's no balance in it. There's never been balance in it. It's never going to be balance in it. So can we figure out how we can do something to, you know, help people without destroying their whole life? Hold on, y'all. I gotta take this. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let me get off my soapbox. Y'all done got me started. Let's go to this story right here that I just pulled up because I wasn't even going to do but one story. And now I'm over here having a whole rant. I just, you know, I feel so much for people in that situation, you know, of losing your job or whatever. Okay, so SNAP benefits face cuts. And apparently Medicaid might face cuts as well. Hold on, I lost the page. Let's see. It says the recently appointed Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has signaled his intention to cut junk food purchases from being purchased using SNAP benefits. Now, I'm not totally against that. I'm just going to be honest with you. And maybe people, you know, be opposite of me who don't feel that way. But you know, sometimes you look at carts and they be like, you try not to judge what somebody has in their cart. because I was that young mom who bought things because I didn't know how to cook, even though my mother cooked all my growing up life, but I wasn't taught how to cook. So just from watching her do stuff, but not allowing me to do stuff. That's why I'm all for people letting their kids go in the kitchen and cook and whatnot. Yet with my older kids, they probably wasn't interested in, because I wasn't really cooking a lot anyway. And what I was cooking, it wasn't like from scratch. It was stuff canned stuff, whatever. It's not like what I do now. I cook from scratch the majority of the time. So a lot of kids, a lot of young mothers don't know homemaking, don't know how to cook, take care of the home, make sure things are how they should be. And that's just, honestly, it's an art form. It's a skill that has been lost. And I applaud At Home with Denise for her homemaking channel, because I even watch it because I learned stuff from there too. I was not taught everything that I'm doing, but I wanted to learn how to do better. Even though my kids are grown now, it doesn't mean I can't still do better in that area and learn how to cook from scratch. And because that does save you a lot of money if you have the ingredients to make things. It is intimidating, I will say that, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. But yeah, definitely it is a lost form out here that we all need to figure out how we can do better in that area, because the way food is right now, you almost need to know how to do these things at home. So let's see. SNAP benefits, commonly known as food stamps, are administered nationwide to low and no income households that would otherwise struggle to afford groceries. In 2023, the program served an average 42.1 million people per month. Some 12.6% of U.S. residents, on average, SNAP recipients will receive an estimated $187 per month, or about $6.16 per day is what it adds up to, per person in regular SNAP benefits in fiscal year 2025. How they say, wait a minute now, okay, so on average 187, because that lady was saying she got 5 kids or 6 kids in that last video I put up, and she was getting $3.3 thousand. Do you know what I could do with that? You know what I'm saying? My freezer would be stocked with meat. Okay. And they're probably not even buying those type of things. The benefit, yep, they're not, because I went on TikTok, and I probably could go on there before I get off if I remember. This one girl, she was like, I don't need no food stamps. My kids gonna eat. And that's how I felt. I don't need no food stamps. When I got off of them, fine. I can do this on my own. I don't need you. But your freezer full with frozen foods is stocked. You can't get nothing else in there. And I want us to get away from the frozen food like that, though, for real. So the benefit can be used for any food or food product intended for human consumption, except alcohol, tobacco, and hot foods, including those prepared for immediate consumption. Critics argue that SNAP's allowance for purchasing sugary snacks, sodas, and junk food promotes unhealthy eating habits, which can lead to obesity and other related health issues. But those are the foods that y'all pushing in the community. So, since being appointed to the Trump administration as head of Health and Human Services earlier this month, Kennedy has made it clear he is in favor of stripping unhealthy foods from the SNAP program. The one place that He says, I would say that we need to really change policy is the SNAP program and food stamps and in school lunches. There, the federal government in many cases is paying for it, and we shouldn't be subsidizing people to eat poison. Let me roll this back for a minute, because I'm pretty sure some people in here who really don't care for Barack or Michelle Obama. But Michelle Obama had an issue with the school lunches. At the time that she had an issue with, what he just said, nutritious food not being served, poisonous food being served, food that's making kids fat, food that's giving kids diabetes, etc., being served, and wanted to go to a more healthier approach, she got beat the heck up in the press over it. And I'm like, okay, is it that serious? But now he wants to do pretty much the same thing, and it's okay. I would like to say there's a common denominator there, but I'm not going to go there. So Kennedy says he wants to ban junk food purchases from SNAP. The SNAP program is administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is its own government agency and is not run by the Department of Health and Human Services, which Kennedy heads. But Agriculture Department head Brooke Rollins has also confirmed she is willing to work with Kennedy on making the proposed changes. So y'all, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh, y'all, they got a snack recall happening right now. Y'all see that? Lordy, Lordy. Okay, so other Republican lawmakers agree. So now we're in agreement with him. But when she wanted to do it, see, that's why I don't like doing this stuff, because I can go off. And are working at state level to see unhealthy purchases become ineligible. Kentucky Representative Matt Lockett and Idaho Republican Representative Jordan Redmond have both proposed bills that would eliminate unhealthy foods from being purchased with your benefits. Junk food generally refers to food that have lots of calories, particularly foods high in macronutrients such as sugars and fats, but little nutritional value. Kennedy has not outlined exactly what types of foods he would like to see become ineligible for purchase. Meanwhile, Texas Representative Keith Self has introduced legislation to prohibit purchasing carbonated drinks with more than 1 gram of added sugar with SNAP benefits. See what people are saying. According to reports by Fortune, Rollins said, when a taxpayer is putting money into SNAP, are they okay with us using their tax dollars to feed really bad food and sugary drinks to children who perhaps need something more nutritious? These are all massive questions we're going to be asking and working on in the coming months and years. What qualifies as junk food? So will the frozen, meals and stuff, does that qualify? Because they have, a lot of processes to them as well. So it'll be interesting to see, y'all, what exactly is going to be on the list of banning foods. It says on a national level, excluding any food type would require Congress to change the law. States have the option to request waivers to allow for flexibility, although such a waiver has never been granted. So that is what's happening with the food stamps. Wait a minute. I'm trying to find that recall. I found that by accident. Snap. Might as well throw a recall in here. Dated February 21st. Yesterday. A Chicago-based food company has issued a voluntary recall for a range of snacks across 35 states. ZB Importing LLC issued a recall on February 18th for 6 varieties of Ochre snack rolls, biscuits, and wafers due to undeclared wheat, undeclared eggs, and undeclared milk. People who have an allergy or severe sensitivity to wheat, eggs, and milk run the risk of a serious or life-threatening allergic reaction if they consume these products. Wheat, eggs, and milk are among the 9 major food allergens as defined in the U.S. law, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which will also see cuts as well. Food allergic reactions vary in severity from mild symptoms involving hives and lip swelling to severe life-threatening symptoms, often called anaphylaxis, that may involve fatal respiratory problems and shock. I know my daughter, when she was like, I don't know how old she was in elementary school, and she went to spend the night with one of her friends. It was a little girl that went to school with her, but also was one of our clients at the child care center. She went to spend the weekend actually with them. And on the very first night, we didn't know she was allergic to cashews because she had been eating nuts previously. She'd been eating, well, pecans. That's totally different. But we didn't think she was allergic to anything, nor did they call and ask us, was she allergic to anything. But then I got that phone call and that they were saying, Tiana ate some cashews or something like that. And apparently her lips had swollen up. And then what they forgot to do was wash your hands. So when you're eating stuff and you're using your hands and you're allergic to it, you should wash your hands. Just FYI, in case you need to know that down the road, because what she did was rub her eyes, and the next thing you know, the eyes were swollen. So we rushed over we didn't live far from her. We rushed over to her house, took her. Well, I had called the doctor, and he was like, just take her to the emergency room. Took her to the emergency room. She was starting to have problems with breathing. Why does everybody call me? Hello. I am doing a live. What do you want? What? Huh? Felicia? She's a lawyer in the Air Force. Sorry, why is my daughter calling to she could just walk in here, but she calling to ask me about my niece. Oh my gosh. But yeah, she, that was a scary moment because she has asthma, so it was starting to affect her breathing. So, that ain't nothing to play with. And they're talking about, what is this? And how did I get on this? This light is too bright. Okay. I lost it. Where were we? So many things popping up on my screen. Okay, so here we go. The products have been recalled as the allergens were not declared on the ingredients list or contain statement. The mislabeling was discovered after a complaint from a consumer who suffered an allergic reaction. I mean, you could definitely lose your life with that because it can affect your breathing. The products were distributed in Alabama, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Colorado, District of Columbia, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, also in Louisiana, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Mississippi, Nebraska, North Carolina, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. The snacks were also distributed in Ontario, Canada, which will be our 51st state. All my Canadian friends, don't y'all cuss me out. I didn't say it. Trump did. So that's what's happening with the recall. Which products? So here go the products, y'all. So there's Ochre, Kextra, Mini, and Strawberry, undeclared allergens, milk. It's the 5.3 ounce full pack. I'm gonna slow down on it because I'm not going through these UPCs and all that other stuff. They also have the Ochre Roller Cat hazelnut wafers, Ochre Dancake roll cake with strawberry, Ochre Biscuit and cocoa biscuit. None of this sounds delicious at all. I'm just saying. The Dancake roll cake with chocolate, the Dancake roll cake with banana. Child, none of that sounds good at all. They even got a pretzel recall, a muffin recall, a waffle recall. And I'm not going through all of those, you guys. You definitely can go over to the FDA and find out what all is being recalled at any time. Because YouTube and social media does not like when I do recalls because they don't want y'all to know. Which is why I say, please hit that like button, share the video out with your family and your friends and on your social media so that more people will know about these things that's going on, whether it's recalls, store closures, banks closing, firings, layoffs, protests, gardening, homesteading, daily life vlogs, all of those things. I need to get off because I got to change my video. I had a video coming up at 5 o'clock and then I came up and did this video. So I'm going to have to push that back either to tomorrow or either push it back to 6 o'clock. So thank y'all for coming in. Let me see. Hey, Essence. While y'all worrying about sugar and soda, there about to be food shortages. Nobody want. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Hold on now. While y'all worrying about sugar and soda, there about to be food shortage. Nobody wants food somebody pick out for them to eat. May as well go to Timbuktu. Listen, nobody wants it, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Unfortunately, where we are today, that's what's going to happen. Because if you think about it, Essence, when you go to the what's the place? The food bank. In essence, no pun intended. In essence, that's what you're doing. You're allowing other people to pick your food out because not every food bank allows you to pick your food out. I think the one of the ones in Colombia that my mom used to go to when she used to live on her own before her dementia, and now she lives with my sister in when she lived in Colombia. Now she's in close to Charleston somewhere. So anywho, they would allow them to pick out their food, you know, like if they had an abundance of food. But when they were low on food and, you know, things started looking bad, and people that used to donate are now people in the line waiting to get food, they already have the box prepared. You get meat, you get canned good, you get, I guess, rice or whatever, beans and stuff. They pick that stuff out for you. So yeah, we're all kind of headed down the road of people going to pick up food out for us. But we can do it now. So you're right. No one wants that, but we can do it now. And we can do it now by, the point I don't have no idea. Listen, let them tell it. They do. But yeah, I totally agree with you. No one wants their food picked out, but definitely continue to do as much as you possibly can with the budget that you have to stockpile some food. Maybe can your own food down the road, grow a little bit, can a little bit. Start off with jellies and jams. That's what I did until I got the courage to move over to meats and stuff like that. But we have to do all we can do, because at the end of the day, we don't get a say. My Jesse Jackson. We don't get a say. They're going to do what they're going to do because they hold all the cards right now. You as well, Jeanette, you as well. Thank y'all for coming in. Let me go. If I missed you, I apologize. Oh, hey, Squirrel Girl. I didn't know you were in here. How are you? Not by Felicia. She probably would say, how many times I can tell you I've heard that. And I mean, it doesn't matter what you do in life. It's always going to be somebody that want to hold you back, want to knock you down, or maybe they see something in you that's amazing and maybe you don't see it in yourself, or maybe you know and you see it in yourself, and so does that other person, but they don't want you to get ahead of them. And it's a lot of that, unfortunately, no matter what field you are in work wise. That includes the military and a lot of other things. Happy Max says, I just looked it up. When did they start allowing soda and chips, frozen pre-made food, and junk to be purchased? Oh my gosh, they've been doing that. Happy Mac. They've been doing that. But what I know I need to do is, I keep forgetting. And do I have a pen in here? I do not. I took my pen out in the other room. I keep forgetting when I go in the store to get the frozen juices. You remember the frozen juices that come in look like the biscuit container, the can in the frozen section. I have to look and see if I can find some of those, because those saved me back in 2020 when I got sick and stuff like that, because I had orange juice. I had orange juice galore in those little containers, because orange juice don't last long. Nothing lasts long anymore. But if you get the frozen ones already and throw them in your freezer, then you can just put them out and then put some water in and make it up. It definitely helps. And it definitely saved me when I got sick a few times in 2020 and 2021. But I got away from getting those. So I got to go, because my husband, I heard him just pull up, and I need to go cook this man some food. Okay, y'all. So y'all take care. Stay safe. I love you, but God truly loves you more. He created only one you. So be the very best you can be. And when you are, please go out and spread God's love. Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on Tommy Bites Homestead.